I've been being asked a lot. Freeman, I know you're bullish on Kaspa. I know it's 37th in total market cap. I know it has grown big, and I know you say it's the fastest layer 1 blockchain there is. But what is it? What makes Kaspa the fastest? What makes Kaspa the best? Well, we're going to get into it into this video. But first, I want to welcome you all back to Freeman Finance and Crypto, where if it makes money, it makes sense. And I hope things have been making a lot of sense for y'all lately. But thank you to everyone from the bottom of my heart for subscribing to the YouTube channel. Within the last week, we've gained almost 400 subscribers. And if you're not one of those, please subscribe so you don't miss out on the good content and hit the bell notification. What I am doing for our Freeman Finance and Crypto community is I'm going to give away 500 Kaspa on the day of the Bitcoin halving. So this giveaway will run until then. The only thing you need to do to have your name put into the hat is repost this video on X. So follow me on X and repost it. I post all my videos on X, and be subscribed to the YouTube channel. That's all you have to do. If I post another video tomorrow and you share that video as well, then your name would be put in twice into the giveaway, and we will do this the day of the Bitcoin halving to celebrate that. But without further ado, let's get into what Kaspa is. Kaspa, as said, is the fastest open source, decentralized, and fully scalable layer 1 in the world. Okay, it also is not a blockchain, it is a block DAG. Okay, we will get into what is a block DAG, how this compares to Bitcoin, what was the original founder's vision, what the tokenomics look like, and even how Kaspa is improving as a layer 1, and how it'll eliminate the need for scalable layer 2s. I'm not saying smart contracts or other layer 2s, but scalable layer 2s. So we will get into all that. But the vision, they are very inspired by Bitcoin. Who isn't? Satoshi was the founder of cryptocurrency, of what we know and love, okay? But they're not necessarily trying to compete with him. They're trying to be his little brother. So as it says here, the vision behind the project is to build Nakamoto-like service that operates as fast as the internet allows. And this is what they thought Bitcoin was originally supposed to be. But the fact of the matter is, with mass adoption, it is extremely expensive to send something, or to send some BTC, and it also is very slow. Okay, and as Kaspa actually translates into silver, but for Kaspa we look to silver, which presented a different trade-off versus gold, and that's historically. Gold has been very expensive, and gold used to be used as a currency, but silver has been used for a currency as well. Okay, it's less valuable, but it's still a precious metal and used as payment. And I think that is where Kaspa will go. Okay, so let's do a little comparison between Kaspa and Bitcoin right now. So everyone knows the Bitcoin was established in 2009. Kaspa's fairly new. They both had a fair launch strategy. What does that mean? Fair launch means there was no IPO or no ICO, initial coin offering. Nobody was able to buy this beforehand. No tokens were given to exchanges, hence why we're not on Coinbase or Binance right now in the United States. So everything was mined, and it was a completely fair, open source, 100% decentralized cryptocurrency, and actually a currency, I believe it could be. Okay, and so they both use proof of work, even though Kaspa is moving into a new technology, which is part proof of work, part proof of stake. But we'll get into that a little later in the video when we're talking about what Kaspa's kind of trying to develop. But this is really the meat and potatoes of everything right here. The block time, one block is generated with Bitcoin every 10 minutes, and there's only 7 transactions per second. Okay, that's why it's so expensive and so slow. Versus with the block DAG technology, new block is made every second, except for they're in parallel. So there could be up to 10 blocks made at a time. And this says 300 transactions per second in mainnet, but I've heard it can be 400 or 500. And that's right now without the next improvement that we're going to talk about a little later in the video. But if you look at the economic model, it really is gold to silver, because 21 million is all the Bitcoin that'll ever be produced, but 28.7 billion, not million, is the amount of Kaspa that will ever be produced. So we know now gold is much more expensive than silver. So I'm not saying Kaspa will ever reach this market cap, but just for comparison, what would happen if Kaspa did reach the current market cap of Bitcoin, which is a little over almost $1.3 trillion. Kaspa would be $56.57. So that means a $65,000 Bitcoin is $56 of Kaspa. Like I said, that is not a price prediction. That is just me explaining how it truly is the silver to it. And with the high transaction speed, it really could be a usable payment layer 1. Okay, so let's get into this GhostDAG technology. Okay, so we already went through that it's a fair launch, but Kaspa uses a block DAG structure that allows more mining decentralization and enables effective solo mining with lower hash rates. What's this mean? Kaspa is able to have fast confirmation and high throughput by allowing multiple blocks to be added in parallel. So when it says 1 block per second, that's actually 1 cluster of parallel blocks per second. And we're going to get into their new DAG in a little bit, but it could be even 100 or more blocks per second. So let's see, what does this look like? So this is live. So in a traditional blockchain for BTC, one of these center blocks would be made every 10 minutes. But you see how these blocks are being formed in parallel with Kaspa, and they're very, very quick. This is what allows the high transactions per second. So there has always been a trilemma with cryptocurrency. Either you're cheap, you're scalable, so scalable, at a good cost. Something like Solana is very scalable, okay? You're decentralized like Bitcoin, but not Solana at all, okay? And so something like Solana crashes, okay? Something like XRP is very scalable, very cheap, but it's very centralized. It's not decentralized. Kaspa meets all of those, okay? And as I said, let's get into the tokenomics a little more. So it has a max supply of 28.7 billion Kas, okay? But we all know the last Bitcoin will not be mined until our grandchildren are here, okay? It will not be in our lifetime. And Kaspa has planned for this. ASIC mining is computer GPU mining of solving algorithms. It takes a lot of computing power, and as it says here, since most of the circulation will be minted by the time ASICs, are too expensive or actually disappear, the barrier is low and it'll be completely decentralized. At that point, the only revenue for Kaspa will be from the transaction volume. And the cost per transaction is very cheap, which means for this network to survive, which I believe it fully will need high transaction volume, okay? And we'll get to smart contracts in a minute. But about that emission schedule, so if we look at tokenomics, this goes out to 2037, I believe. But we are currently somewhere right here, right under the $25 trillion mark, okay? And so let's open this up real quick, and I'll show you exactly where we're at. We're at the end of the second year, okay? Yeah, so here we are, March and April of 2024. But you see now there's 300 million being unlocked per month. But let's just go 2 years down the line. It drops down to 50 million, and then 30 million a month, and then just single millions a month. So we are past the point, or almost past the point of, if you want to call it, high inflation to this token. So we're about to be at the point where there is no inflation. So basically what that means is when the Kaspa price is steady and these token unlocks are happening, that means that there is enough demand to buy up what is being released onto the market, 300 million a month. Okay, well, if that goes down to 7 million a month and we're at the same volume as now, the price would be going up. Okay, so that's how important tokenomics are and why it matters. But so let's also get into some other things they could work on: smart contracts and DeFi. With the new DAG that we're going to get into in a minute, okay, Knight DAG, it's gonna be scalable to the sense where this layer 1 will be able to have 10 or 20 times or even more the volume or the transaction speed as it does now. So I don't foresee there needing to be any layer 2 like Polygon, like Optimism, to scale like they have to do to Ethereum. Ethereum is now just basically gas. Okay, that's all Ethereum is, and then the layer 2s like Polygon is what actually scales it. I don't think that will be needed for this layer 1 Kaspa. Kaspa will be able to do all that on its own. Now, they can have smart contracts in DeFi, which they do plan on implementing, and this will allow even higher scalability, which I don't think will be a problem, but various use cases with lending, so DeFi, borrowing, trading, gaming, NFTs, and more to get brought onto Kaspa. And that is a part of their development plan. So let's look at the DAGKnight protocol is what they're going to be changing to. I've heard it could be 6 months, but these things take time, and this is a fairly young project. So they have a mobile wallet already done, that's Caspium. They've integrated the ledger, that done. So this Rust language is what goes into DAGKnight protocol. But what is it? And so basically this is just going to increase the amount of blocks, as we've seen over here. How these blocks, it'll increase these blocks to over 100 a second instead of 10. Okay, but so let's have a little example. In Bitcoin and every other coin that we're currently aware of, these blocks occur at regular intervals, and that's the same with Kaspa. Okay, but they form the block in a straight line, a blockchain, whereas we're in parallel with Kaspa. Okay, so say we send some coins. It's like your transactions waiting on a bus stop, waiting for the next bus to take your transactions away. That's the block. For Bitcoin, it comes every 10 minutes. For Ethereum, it comes every 15 seconds. That's good, right? Right now, the Kaspa bus comes every second, except for multiple bus comes because they allow up to 18 blocks at the same time. But once Kaspa code is completed in Rust high performance language, which is this DAGKnight, it'll be 32 blocks per second. So now your transaction's no longer waiting for a bus. There's 32 supercars arriving every second to collect your transactions. So this will be instantaneous. That's why I'm saying there will not need to be layer 2 such as Polygon to Ethereum's layer 1. It will not be needed. There will only be needed smart contracts for DeFi if you wanted to build NFTs on it, and I see all this coming. This is a 2-year-old project right now. That is it. Okay, so the DAGKnight, what is some benefits of DAGKnight? So this is bridging proof of work and proof of stake. Currently, Bitcoin and Kaspa are the only big, maybe Murano, but the biggest proof of work algorithms, okay, or crypto tokens. So this is a balance between security and energy efficiency, okay? So proof of work is used to establish the initial security, while proof of stake is leveraged to maintain consensus and validate transactions. So proof of stake is scalable. Traditionally, proof of work was not, okay? But so how does the proof of stake component work with DAGKnight? It's based off of voting power. So basically, to be able to mine, they have to stake CAS as collateral. This ensures that they're good actors on the blockchain and there's no foul actors or anything like that. Say there was somebody that had a few Kaspa staked and they were mining, it wouldn't, and they were bad actors, it wouldn't matter because of the weighted voting. So the proof of stake component of DAGKnight involves weighted voting, where the influence of a miner's decision making power is proportional to their stake. Okay, this approach encourages long-term participation and reduces the risk of centralization. Okay, and then basically what this is saying is that it's energy efficient, which is a big thing. That's why Elon Musk sold his Bitcoin back when Tesla owned it, because he said it wasn't energy efficient enough. Okay, but the point is, Kaspa is extremely scalable as a layer 1, and everything they say here is completely true, but within the next year or so, it's going to be 100 times truer. Okay, Kaspa is the fastest open source, decentralized, fully scalable layer 1 in the world. They have fulfilled what Satoshi originally wanted with Bitcoin. But once again, everyone, thank you for joining Freeman Finance and Crypto, where if it makes money, it makes sense. 400 subscribers in the last week. That is amazing. Please subscribe, hit that bell notification so you don't miss out, and join the giveaway. Repost the video on X, follow me on X, subscribe to this YouTube channel, and someone will be getting 500 Kaspa. Thank you very much.